A wide shot of the Montana high country at dawn, mist clinging to pine-covered slopes, snow dusting the highest peaks. A lone figure moves through the trees. Jediah Crane, his knees aching with every step, his beard gray, his eyes hollow. Behind him trails a loyal shepherd dog, gray muzzle and steady presence. He has not spoken to another human in 7 years. Close-up of Jediah's weathered face, deep lines carved by grief and solitude, his blue eyes carrying a weight that never lifts. He pauses at the edge of a clearing, his hand resting on his dog's head, his breath visible in the cold morning air. He came to these mountains to disappear. He did not expect to find something that would make him want to live again. A flash of movement at the edge of the clearing. A young girl, perhaps 12 years old, running on all fours across the forest floor. Her hair is tangled, matted with leaves and pine needles, her skin pale beneath layers of dirt. She moves like the wolves that flank her, fluid and silent, her eyes catching the light with something ancient and knowing. Jediah frozen against a tree, his heart pounding, his hand gripping his dog's collar to keep him still. The girl has stopped at the creek, her head tilted, listening to sounds humans cannot hear. A massive gray wolf emerges from the shadows behind her, standing at her shoulder, watching the hidden man with eyes that miss nothing. The mountain holds its breath. Days passing, Jediah leaving small offerings at the edge of the clearing: a fish, a piece of dried meat, a woven blanket he found in the abandoned cabin. Each morning, the gifts are gone, and in their place, a single feather or a smooth stone left on a stump. He does not try to approach. He simply waits, letting her decide. The girl appearing at the edge of his camp at dusk, her face half hidden by shadows, her wolf companion sitting beside her like a guardian. She does not speak, but her eyes track his every movement, the way he builds the fire, the way he shares his food with the dog, the way his hands tremble when he looks at her. He sets an extra portion of fish on a flat stone and steps back. Close-up of the girl's hands reaching for the fish, her fingers curling around it like claws, her nails long and broken. She eats quickly, watching him the entire time, ready to flee at the smallest threat. But she does not flee. She stays until the fire burns low, and when she leaves, she looks back once, her face catching the ember light. Weeks later, the girl sitting across the fire from Jediah, her wolf lying between them, its head on its paws. He speaks to her in a low, steady voice, telling her his name, telling her about the wife and child he buried before he came to the mountains. She does not understand his words, but she understands his tone, and for the first time, she does not leave when he finishes. A slow montage of moments, the girl taking food from his hand, her fingers brushing his palm, the wolf allowing him to sit beside it, the girl mimicking the way he stacks wood, her movements clumsy but determined. He teaches her to hold a cup, to wrap herself in a blanket, to sit still when the fear comes. She teaches him to listen to the wind, to read the tracks, to be present in silence. Jediah carving a small wooden wolf for the girl, his rough hands working the blade with unexpected care. He presents it to her at dawn, and she takes it with both hands, turning it over, pressing it to her chest. Her face, for the first time, breaks into something that might be a smile, and something in his chest cracks open that has been sealed for 7 years. A distant sound echoing across the valley rifle fire, men's voices, the baying of hounds. The girl's head snaps up, her body tensing, her wolf rising beside her with hackles raised. Jediah grabs her arm, pulling her toward the cabin, his face pale beneath the beard. Hunters have come for the legend of the wolf girl, and they will not leave empty-handed. The hunters approaching the cabin at dusk, 3 men with rifles and a cage on a wagon, their laughter carrying across the clearing. Jediah stands on the porch, his rifle in his hands but not raised, his voice steady as he tells them there is nothing here for them. The lead hunter laughs and says the girl is worth more than his life, and he intends to collect. Close-up of Jediah's face as the hunters circle, his jaw tight, his hand steady on the rifle he has not fired in 7 years. Behind him, through the cabin window, the girl's face appears, fearful, trusting, waiting to see if this man will be like all the others. He meets her eyes, and something in him hardens into iron, the lead hunter raising his rifle toward the cabin, shouting that he will shoot the wolf if the girl does not come out. Jediah steps forward, placing himself between the hunter and the cabin, his voice low and terrible. He tells them he buried his family in this valley, and he will bury them too if they take one more step. The hunters hesitate, the cabin door bursting open, the girl running out not toward the hunters, but toward Jediah, her wolf at her heels. She wraps her arms around him, her face buried against his chest, her body trembling. The hunters laugh, calling her a wild animal, raising their rifles. Jediah wraps one arm around her and raises his rifle with the other, and the mountain goes silent. The wolf lunging forward, a blur of gray fur and teeth, sending the lead hunter stumbling backward into the mud. His rifle fires into the air, and the other hunters scramble, their courage evaporating. Jediah fires a single shot into the ground at their feet, and the men run, leaving the cage behind, leaving the legend they came to capture. After the hunters flee, Jediah kneeling in the clearing with the girl in his arms, her wolf pressed against her side. She is shaking, her breath coming in gasps, her fingers twisted in his coat. He holds her and speaks to her in the low, steady voice he used when he first found her, telling her she is safe, telling her no one will ever take her from this mountain. Months later, the girl sitting beside Jediah on the cabin porch, her hair braided for the first time, her feet in boots that are too large but warm. She still runs with the wolves, still sleeps beneath the stars, but she returns to the cabin each morning, to the fire, to the man who held her when the hunters came. He is teaching her words now, one at a time. Winter settling over the mountains, snow piling against the cabin walls, the fire burning low. Jediah is sick, his hand pressed to his chest, his breathing labored. The girl watches him with eyes that have learned to fear, and when he cannot rise from his chair, she disappears into the snow. She returns with the wolf pack, surrounding the cabin, keeping him warm with their bodies until the storm passes. A final wide shot of the cabin in spring, wildflowers blooming across the clearing, the mountains rising blue and eternal in the distance. Jediah sits on the porch, older now, his hand resting on the wolf's head, while the girl, almost a young woman, sits beside him, reading aloud from a worn book, her voice halting but clear. Behind them, the pack rests in the sun, and the mountain that took everything from him has given him back something he thought he lost forever.